Hello and good evening and welcome to The Truth Behind the Truth. Yes, indeed. It is an exciting evening here on your number one Saturday evening talk show. All right. Where the fellas gives you the truth behind the truth. Wherever that is a part you standing in your life, I'm sure you'll be able to find some truth in conversation with us here tonight and whenever we're on. All right. Good to have you. Good to have you. Again, want to thank you so much for your likes and your shares. And speaking of your likes and shares, we have a wonderful contest going on. Okay. So we care about you because you care about us. All right. And in a way to be able to do that, you can get your where is it? There it is, the TTB tea mug. All right. So our contest is you email to us 10 likes and shares. Okay, verifiable. Okay, to the to our email address at ttbttshow. It's on the bottom of your screen at Gmail. Once we verify those, we will send you out send them out an email. Lord, yeah, we will email you back, but we will send you out a mug for a thank you for your efforts and supporting and putting us out there among everybody. So make sure you jump on that, all right? And you can still also purchase your mug for yourself, friends, and everybody else that you want to give the truth behind the truth to. Holiday season is here. You can purchase the mug. Here it is again, the mug. For $15, okay? And it's free shipping, okay? So we would gladly love to have you do that for us, okay? And and support us in that aspect of everything. Tonight we have one of our dear brothers of the show that's joined us tonight as a special co-host this evening, which is Mr. Darnell Thomas. Yay! Yes. Parnell is out on assignment today, so he may be with us next week. We're not sure, but as a working actor, he has a lot of things going on, so he'll be in and out. Actually, in and out this season quite a bit because he's being able to work on a lot of projects. So, and good news for all of you Sandy Hackett friends, he will be back next week. Okay, he's our roaming co-host as well, and y'all know how Sandy is. He'll keep you laughing, but tell you the truth behind the truth. So Sandy will be back with us next week too. So we're excited about that. All right. So let's go. Darnell, how are you doing, sir? Uh-oh. No, I think he's got. You okay? I think your signal's messing with you a little bit. Did you hear me?
Can hear you now.
Okay, there you go. Great, I was asking how you doing.
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
Good, right. Good to see you. Looking all fresh. Like you got your hair cut, you got your hair did, and you got your beard all done.
I love that too. What is that on your shirt? I like that. What is that? Is that a clown?
I think he's having a signal issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as soon as he gets the signal, we'll continue the conversation, with him. But anyway, so how are you doing?
Oh my gosh! I'm in. Let's just say this: the season has changed.
Yes, it has.
Even though we're out here in LA, and the weather has been kind of wonky out here lately.
Very much so.
Right.
Great. The weather has been very wonky. It's been hot during the day, but at night it gets a little cold.
Right.
It gets that little fall snap at night. But other than that, I'm feeling good. I just feel like at the time, when the seasons change like this, sinuses, colds, COVID starts doing its due diligence and making people feel some type of way, health wise.
Well, it's amazing. You COVID again because most people think COVID is gone.
It's not gone. It's not gone at all. And to be honest with you, a lot of people are more. You notice that they're now still buying more COVID. Those tests, COVID tests, still are flying off the shelves because we just don't know if it's cold, flu, or COVID. It's just they're the same symptoms, So to be honest with you, it's just the weather. The season has changed. The weather is making some of us feel a little wonky, but other than that, though, I feel fine.
Good.
Feel positive. Good. New Year's coming. Yes. New Year's coming.
Yes. And of course, it's been an exciting week for you in terms of Elevation. So that was good. So y'all give him a hand for Elevation. Okay?
Yes.
I'll let him share what he ready to talk to y'all about it. But just Elevation for that. But anyway,
what is that on your shirt? I like that. What is that?
So design? This is Rick and Marty. And Marty. Oh, whatever. So on the back is Rick and Marty on the back of it. This is one of my animation collection blouses, for say.
Okay.
Yes.
Love that. Yeah, it's a nice. Well, he always dressed very unique, and something really speaks to him.
Yes, there's nothing wrong in being unique,
right,
and being authentic, because this is what this show is based on: being your authentic self.
Absolutely. We were at dinner the other night celebrating a coworker, and I thought I was doing right with my little black and white shirt on. He came in, he sparkled me right on out. I was like, okay,
yeah.
But I said that's okay, and where we were was a very nice restaurant.
It was.
Nice, it was a very nice restaurant. I'm saying restaurant, but restaurant. I don't know if I should give him a plug or not because they ain't paying us,
Don't give them.
Okay, I think here in LA. So okay, I won't say it on the air, but you can email me if you want to know where it is. Okay,
yes,
they have the best. They're known for their steak. Okay, and I'm not a red meat eater, but they're known for their steak and their pork loin chops. So and the whole menu is different cuts of beef. So I was out of place because I don't eat that. But at the end of the day, what I did have was very good. I mean, it was very good. The cocktails were very good, as well. And what was beautiful to me, and it's in Beverly Hills, the atmosphere was great. But what I loved about it is that the music they were playing was a very good mixture and had a lot of in it. And that's very a restaurant that was there, it had a lot of our classic and what have you, and it really set the tone of the atmosphere. So it was nice. I mean, it was a really nice restaurant, and of course you pay to be there, so you expect that kind of treatment when you go in, at the end of the day.
They were nice. They were very nice, very courteous. I mean, very tentative. It was nice.
Exactly. Even the valet were great because I had left my glasses in the car and I was like, oh my gosh, you won't be able to see the menu, that's when you get 22, your eyes don't want to look at things, so you got to give a little help, so but I'd asked the valet, I said, can you run to the car and get my glasses for me? Because I didn't want to drive all the way around to get the car again. He said, well, sure. So he went to the car, got the glasses, brought them back to me. I said, now, you know what? This is good. All right. I have to give them props for that because they didn't have to do it. They could have gave you attitude and everything else. But no, they're very accommodating, and what have you. So I'm glad that. But anyway, enough what I expected.
Well, happy birthday, Terrell.
Yeah, exactly. Happy birthday, Terrell.
Now he's in New York.
Off in New York this weekend.
Wow.
Having him a time on Broadway.
All right.
Yes, I encouraged him. I said, call me. Let me tell you, don't go to New York, don't go to a Broadway show.
Well, when we go back, we're going to definitely do that. And plus, Delmonico's.
Oh, yes.
I would love to do Delmonico's.
Exactly. We have our staple restaurants. Which we can't talk about it on the air.
I know.
But if you want to know, you can send us an email to that email at the bottom, ttdbttshow@gmail.com. But as soon as these people start sponsoring us, we'll tell you about them. Okay?
Yes. Right.
But we can't.
Until then, click like and click share.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Also want to remind you about your other additional support that we're going to get into tonight is definitely support us with your monetary means. Of course, no dollar is not rejected. Okay. We're taking 100 and above. Okay. If you've got less than 100, it's going to have to be a 50. All right? It's going to have to be a 50 and up. But anyway, you can send us your support to our Cash App at Cash App at TTBT. I'm sorry, I can tell you what I say it. TTBTT Show is on Venmo, okay? And then, wait a minute, I got it right. I got it wrong. Cash App is TTBTT Show, and on Venmo, it is The Truth Behind the Truth, okay? So either one of those platforms, you can also support us with your monetary means as well. All right, let's go ahead and dig on in, fellas. Talk about what's going on in this entertainment world. Will and Jada. Or Jada versus Will, or Will versus Jada.
What about Will and Jada versus the world?
Yeah, okay.
That part.
Exactly, that part.
Yeah,
okay.
Basically.
So what's going on with Miss Jada this week?
What? Go ahead, Dark. I know you probably got a whole lot to talk about because
it's one of those things where she just recently came out and said that therefore she was going to support her husband and they were going to work on them again and this, that, and the third. And it's kind of like a conversation that we had before. It just goes back to the fact of going into marriages with trauma. Going into the marriages with trauma. And I'm pretty sure they both had it. They both were young at the time. And just not realizing as we are more, it's more visible today that we can deal with trauma by going to see a therapist.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
So they just jumped into it like a lot of us do when we're younger, and now they're just dealing with the back end of it.
Right. It's wonderful that you brought up and let you say your point about trauma, because that's something that we're going to actually explore a little bit more into tonight as well. Looking at individual trauma, where it stands, why we make the decisions that we make, and we're leading up to a point that we're going to have two specialists that will be back on the show very, very soon, and going to deal with that a little bit more in detail for you, so that you can have a better perspective on how to approach your own individual trauma, either how you've been trauma or how you traumatize someone else. Okay, so we'll get into that in just a minute. So go ahead, your part about the Jada. Will,
I want to say this. This has been really like almost a wrecking ball for everybody's hopes and dreams of this relationship or this marriage for many, many years. I'm not shocked. I'm really not shocked, because before all of this blew up, we kind of had found we knew of inklings of what was going on. That was because they have always been a very progressive couple, but behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really a big thing for us to really sit there and read a whole article based on their relationships. I remember when they talked about the open marriage on Vibe, and it was indicated in certain magazine publications about the way they ran their household. But I don't think nobody really sat down and really thought about what are they really doing, and how has this marriage really worked until this situation with August Alsina. But I really want to give Jada some credit here. Jada during this tour has not been doing the usual rounds. You go on The View, you go on. I think she did Jade Holder and some other place.
She did Kelly and Mark.
Kelly and Mark. She's been doing those shows, those early morning shows. But what she has also been doing was stepping into the Lion's Den a little bit. She's been doing these YouTube interviews. She's been going on these YouTube podcast shows that deal with a lot of it's more like a black men platform. I don't think she has did Drinking Champs and all that other stuff, but I know she has did some shows based on those black male podcasts who are really been taking shots at this book. And at her and her as an individual with this situation. That takes a lot of gumption and a lot of balls. That's because true. She's been catching it left and right. But on this situation, it's a trauma bond I believe Will and Jada has. I think they have come to the realization that there are a lot of cracks in their situation. But I think unlike other couples, unlike other relationships, they have stuck it out to the point that it has now become an unconditional friendship. And to be honest with you, with Will's situation, he has lived in a very, he grew up in a very abusive household. And I think he kind of, wanted to be that protection, that figure, that male figure that his father never was in his life. Then he meets this, Jada, even though he had divorced his first wife, he meets Jada. Jada is coming from a situation of trauma when it comes down to separation and of her, of her mother through drug issues, her being a drug dealer, trying to, live her life, at least trying to help out her situation with her mother and all this other stuff. But then on top of that, it's just the fact that they have these issues and they're trying to stick it out, not only for themselves, but for the children. Now that the children are grown, they're used to this situation. I think as the public, we're not used to seeing people look like this, but be dysfunctional. We want a Bobby and Whitney story. It was so funny when we took shots at Bobby and Whitney for being on a drug rant, but to see these people all who we thought were, perfect. They were rich. They're this, they're that, but have these cracks. It's like a slap in our face. It's like we've been scammed, and I don't think I've been scammed. I think honestly, I feel like I'm shocked about the situation, but I'm not. I don't feel scammed because everybody has situations within their relationships. We just don't know.
Exactly.
That's my spill on.
Well, and so very, I think, eloquently put, of giving a great history background so that everybody, if you're paying attention, guys, you can, or if you're just joining, go back and listen to this part of what he just articulated. It is such a great point now to know what it is, because their life has been basically on an assumptive basis, based upon sound bites of what people have heard that may or may not be going on in the media. I mean, in their marriage, and the media will take that and exploit that on several levels. I mean, they were in the National Enquirer about at one particular point, and then there was this big blown up thing about Will was having a
bisexual relationship,
right? With
bisexual relationship,
right? Yeah,
not gay relationship,
right? What's
another person,
male,
allegedly,
right?
Allegedly, because we don't know,
right? But he actually
don't know.
Well, and they listed it that he bought a home out on Malibu, and was quote unquote a love cottage that he made up for these two. Allegedly, okay. So even if it was,
allegedly.
Allegedly, because we don't know,
right? Even if it was that, okay. And at the end of the day, and let's kind of take it off prying just for a minute, because I know we got to get ready to go to break, but prying in their personal affairs. Look at Will, look at Jada. Okay, and Will would have, if he decided to come out as a full-blown male-loving male, do you know what would have happened to his career early on?
Yeah.
What I'm saying? Because, he put it this way, his white audience, quote unquote, would have been very forgiving.
Yeah.
Okay. But the African-American audience would not.
Would have torn him apart.
They would have torn him apart. And they would have not allowed him to be his authentic self. So it forced him, whether that's true or not, it forced him to put himself in this particular bubble. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'm sure during the course of him and Jada getting together, that was discussed. So it could have led to the point why they made the decision to have an open marriage.
And Will's an overachiever. He's an overachiever.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Will likes to prove people wrong, which we already know through the years. That's what his career was based on.
Right.
Taking it to the next level, taking it from being a rap career to a sitcom career to a movie star career,
right.
And being the only Black entertainer to almost do that.
Well, yeah, he
across
was
the board.
True, and I mean, and you look at his film and TV success has been tremendous. And he is really the first rapper, quote unquote, that really turned the whole him and Queen Latifah, him and LL Cool J.
Yeah,
they have taken
Ice
the spin,
Cube.
And has been everyone's on the route that have taken that spin. But I know we got to go for a break. But
we're gonna talk more about it. Yeah, we got more to talk about. That.
So we'll be right back after this break about a little bit more.
Yeah.
Today, our teacher taught us about a place called Africa. She say our mamas come from Queens over there. That means that we, royalty.
I don't need you to love me.
Afternoon, I need me a wife.
Even if we have to part, you and me, us have one heart.
I don't need.
Get off my land!
You.
I write you every day. Daddy! Nothing but death can keep me from it.
Oh, Miss Celia.
You must ain't got no kinfolk around these parts.
All I had was my sister. She was the only one ever loved me. I'm gonna hold my head up. I'm gonna put my shoulders back.
It's time for you to see the world.
There's gonna be some changes made.
Put it on. This ain't me.
Hush. We need to look like we belong. Let's see the smile and come. Sweet and loving God.
Showing my heart to the folks that I'm close to.
Now we're talking.
Hey,
Dear Seeley, we are more than just kings and queens. We are at the center of the universe.
Oh, yes, I am.
All right, and welcome back, guys. Oh my gosh, I wish tomorrow was Christmas Day. Not really, but really.
You saw the promo in the theater, right, Darnell?
I did.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was something that it was moving to me. It was so moving to me to actually see it on the big screen in a theater was just like, you know how you get that feeling like it start off as a tingling feeling, and then it's just like you be like, and then in the end it's just like you just be and it's like a little like a tear want to come to your eye just to see all of that excellence on the television on this big screen or whatever. First you will see it on the television screen where they will promote it, and then you'll see it in the theater. It's just totally different. It's just like it's one of those things where it just makes you proud for the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
It jeez. Wow, am I being touched by that?
That's how I was. That's exactly how I was, JB. I'm telling you, I was like I was like, you know, how that I was like, oh.
I don't know why I'm being touched right now. Y'all know I'm a spiritual guy. And I just go ahead. I just can't.
You know what? And we did the show in college because I've never seen before that. Then I've always seen the movie, the original movie with Whoopi Goldberg and Danny Glover, and you know the lady that plays Sugar Avery. Who's still. I remember watching that movie and that being the cultural cornerstone of all of our lively conversations when we would talk about films and all that stuff. You know, and you don't the original you can't beat, but when I saw the musical, it did bring on a new perspective of how to retell the story.
Right.
I'm hoping and praying because my girl Fannie Mae, I love Fantasia, been a fan of her since American Idol. I'm glad that they took a chance and did not go with the $1 million name pick. I'm happy that they got Taraji. I'm happy that Danielle is in there and Sierra's in it. It's now become what you would call a black extravaganza of stars.
Wow.
You know, and it's so funny. This is almost like the Cabin in the Sky 2.0 with Lena Horne and Lena Horne and Ethel Waters and Roger of this time period. But I'm hoping and praying, and I know Steven Spielberg is the producer. I know Oprah is the producer. I'm just hoping and praying that they stuck with the story, but they didn't just pluck it off the stage. If you want to know what I mean by that it just doesn't seem so archaic in its presentation. I hope they go full throttle. I hope it comes to the point that it just punches you in your gut when it boils down to the songs and to the acting, because you know we as and I know black folks we love music, we love stuff of this nature, but you know you have a lot of people who do not understand the concept of a movie musical because we're not used to seeing movie musicals anymore, and that's not part of a lot of our repertoire. But I'm hoping and praying that does change our outlook on how it looks, and we just go and support. Go and support it. Really, go support it.
Now that hopefully I can get out what I was going to say.
They're already projected.
Go ahead.
They're already projected for 24. for awards already. So because they were saying that they it's just that good.
You know,
all right.
And I'm still trying to get this out. Woo, okay. I've been a Color Purple fan since its on inception. From the very first time I said in 1985 and saw the original movie.
Not from the book.
You didn't read the book. I didn't read the book. So, and then I've had such close association with it in terms of everybody else to call me when I was looking a little bit different. Mr. They say you look like Danny Glover, you know, and the whole 9 yards. To the point that in moving forward in time, that I personally would have never thought that I would be friends and have worked with this iconic man.
Danny Glover.
You know what I'm saying? And still is such a very valuable part of my life, you know, on a regular basis. Show too. And has been on The Truth Behind the Truth as well. Yeah. And I'm working on trying to get him back in and hopefully this at some point this season. But, you know, from that to have opportunity to have worked with Suge Avery, you know, Margaret Avery, to have that opportunity to be with these wonderful people, but yet and reliving these characters with them, you know. And I encourage you guys, it's been 2 years, almost 3 years now. There were 3 years in December, right? That Danny was on the show with us. But if you go back to our repertoire and you take an opportunity and look at that show that he did, you will be so overwhelmed with power and knowledge and know how powerful he is. Powerful show. So, matter of fact, we'll try to go back and get it. Maybe give you a direct link to it or something. We'll set it up so you can go on, and be able to find it, make it easy for you to access. But it was a very, very good show. But no, we got to move on. But
let's move on. Wait a minute. Let's not move on because I want to add this on to it.
Hold on. Let me finish my point.
Go ahead and finish your point.
So, you know, we're seeing this, and then I've been a fan of the musical, the play. So I saw the play 6 times.
Oh shoot.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot.
It's 6 times. Well, not 6 times bad, but in different. I saw the Broadway cast, which was simply amazing. Okay, I saw it 4 times, 5 times in Atlanta with different people at different times, and I saw it with Fantasia as well. So seeing this and then seeing this reinsurgence coming back to the screen, you know, and then it's if the trailer is moving you like this and bringing an emotional moment. Oh man. I mean, I'm just saying I'm probably gonna be boohooing at the whole movie, okay? Because I'm just touched, and I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I can't explain it to y'all, but I don't know why. Maybe it'll come out a little bit later. But I'm just touched for some reason or the other. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, we're talking about trauma on this show. We just got finished talking about Jada, and we can still discuss Jada and Will's situation. But even with the movie The Color Purple, you know, even when the conception of the first movie, there was controversy with the storyline of the film, uplifting Black women and downing Black men.
Right.
We now see a trend right now with that going on with Jada's book and with some other stuff that's going on that really has set off this I call gender war situation that's now going on social media and on the internet. You know, it's so sad that even back then, James Baldwin kind of dissed the film because of that concept, because they did not want to see that type of situation within the Black community, even though we knew our grandparents had those situations. And we still have situations of abuse, of neglect, of child abuse, of, you know, you see the story of Celie and Mr. Now you see the situation with Jada and Will. Not saying that Will has ever abused Jada. We're not going there. Right. But we see the conversation around that situation of Black men not wanting to see a Black woman down a Black man. Because it's just that trauma of not wanting to see what we already know exists in our community when it boils down to what the music sometimes we listen to. And how we dog each other. Do y'all agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
It's the same conversation that they had in 1985 that we're now having in 2023. I think that subject matter of us as a community combating our demons on display instead of dogging each other out. Listen to what this person is saying, and let's see if we can clean this up and build on top of this and have the conversation, because we know mental illness is so prevalent
Very much so.
It's so prevalent.
Right.
And we need to do better as a community.
Right.
That's all I want to say about that.
Well, go ahead, Darnell.
Oh, I just think he solved it.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Alan summed it up. I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You good.
Yeah, what he was saying. And I think what it is, and the reason why you see so many people, and when it come down to the factor of the black man, because it's always supposed to be said, oh, the man is supposed to be the leader. So you don't never talk bad about the man. You don't never this. The husband get the biggest piece of the chicken.
Right.
And that's how that's what's been taught to us. So now that they're seeing something different, they don't know how to respond to it, or they're going to respond negatively about the factor of it because of it's something different. But I think that's what we need as a culture. We need different in order to get change.
Very good. Well said. This moment that we're having right now, and I think it's such a very integrated moment of how this connection with The Color Purple adds to it, and so eloquently you put about tying Will and Jada into that. I mean, it is, and you just really take a step back from it. And here's the thing, guys, real quick, we really got to move on.
I know.
If you have not seen the original movie, okay, fine. I would say go back and look at the original movie. Okay, please do that. All right, go back and look at it so that you can assess and understand even how it mirrors life today and the behaviors today. Because here's the thing: women of color are still being abused, very much so. Okay, they're taking on roles that they've been forced into doing. Okay, they've been forced into having children that are not theirs. But the thing about this is that they don't speak on it as well as they've done before. Or now we've got a trend, which I'm going to talk about in future shows, is how hip hop has influenced the black community in a negative way, that we've got women that don't even appreciate themselves because they've now taken the point of calling each other bitches. Okay. And it's going to be a subject about that a little bit later on. So I want y'all to put a paperclip on that one because I'm going to talk about that soon, as well. But we got to go to a break. Sorry. So when we come back from break, our wonderful engineer will be joining us because we're going to dig in. We're going to talk about a little bit of the trauma as we mentioned, and then we're going to go into some of the news buzz of things that's going on in Washington and be able to kind of help you guys get prepared for what may be coming in the future. All right. So we'll see you right back after this quick break. All right, and we are back, guys, and we are joined with our wonderful, my other cohort here, Dr. Charles McIntosh.
That's it, yes.
Yes, indeed. I do want to say this real quick, and then we're going to get into the topic. So we were discussing during the break, okay, and I was trying to figure out why was I so moved by the Color Purple trailer. So those of you that are in, and same thing, I think, Darnell, you can contest to this, is that when you are spiritual, and I'm not talking about Christian, when you are spiritual, you tap in, okay? And unawareingly, your spirit is gravitated to something great. So my thoughts was that when the audio of her singing "I Am Here," I believe that when she was in the studio recording that, she had a divine anointed moment. So what we're feeling, or what I'm feeling, is the same feeling that was recorded. So when it plays back, I don't care how many times it be played back, that same anointing or that same spirit is going to resonate through that all the time. So like you said, at this point, probably that when you're in the theater come Christmas Day, I'm sure the whole theater is going to be.
But she was crying, JB, when she was making the song. While she had to do several cuts because of the fact that she said that the spirit had overtaken her, because she was crying while she was making it. Because the original song when she sung it was when she was on Broadway. She said the first time she sung it, she in rehearsal. She said she couldn't even get through rehearsal. Because you have to think about it in that moment. The reason why it's so touching is that she was dealing. That's when she found out that she had the tumors on her throat, and they said she'll never sing again.
Right. Wow.
That's why she was not able to continue out the rest of her time on the Broadway. So that's why it was so touching to her, because of the fact that now she's able to sing it, and throughout all of her traumas and all of her trials and tribulations and losing it and winning, she's still here and she's still on top, still 20-something years later.
Wow,
Good.
Charles.
Good. All right, Charles, you can take it from there, Charles. We'll go into the rest of what we need to talk about today, because I got to stop talking about that.
All I can say is there's no testimony without tests.
Right.
You have to go through something to get through something. So when we look back, and we have to be appreciative. One thing I've learned over this journey I've had out here doing what we do, the show and so forth, is you have to live in the moment. You have to appreciate it and live it while it's happening. Don't let it pass you by and then think about it later. You have to feel it while it's happening. And speaking of which, that's why my future ex-wife, Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett, is going to be my future ex-wife, because she's a bad lady. She's a very bad lady. She's putting them in check left and right out in the White House.
Exactly. Can we play that clip of Miss Jasmine Crockett real quick, to let you guys know who this young lady? I'm telling you, hey, I give her, she's going to run for president in a few years. I'm going to tell you, because she will be surely worth it. We have her. I think we have a clip of her. That's such a beautiful young lady. Yeah. Very, very articulate young lady. I mean, and she let them have it in Congress a few weeks ago about that orange idiot. Do we have? I don't know. Do we have the clip? You don't have it. Well, if you get it, don't worry about it.
No, we cleared the archive of that one, but I can pick it back up.
Okay, all right, yeah, if we get it. But anyway, such a powerful young lady, guys. I mean, if you do your own research on her. I mean, in terms of somebody that, and we say all the time on the show, we need to get youth in Congress. We need to be people that are about things, and here it is, typically a woman of color that is leading the way for this freshman class to come in with boldness. Okay, I mean, and then we have the two gentlemen that are in Tennessee as well that are making strides. Okay, because they're the ones that stood up for the I forgot what they stood up for, but anyway, and got ostracized from there, and then got invited back in because the public said, "Oh no, you're not gonna do this to them."
But we need fresh faces in the House, because we need fresh faces in Washington, because we're seeing what establishment looks like.
Right.
Business as usual is not helping the American people.
No.
When you have people who are going through everyday struggles, buying groceries, trying to afford gas, trying to afford the rent, trying to find jobs, you don't need people who've been there since the 30s. Trying to decide what's going on in the 21st century, because they don't have it within them to relate.
Right.
And I'm telling people all around me, it's not up to them to decide. It's up to you as the American people to decide for yourself what you think is best for your life. If you want to sit there and allow somebody to have judgment over your life, it's not a democracy. It's not system.
Right.
But I think the American people have got it misconstrued. You can sit up here and blame Biden all you want to because he is the figurehead of our country, but it's you need to start pointing that finger back at you. You need to know who is your mayor. You need to know who is your city council member. You need to know who is representing your district. You need to know who is the governor, because the states, I don't care how many times the federal government pass laws, it's up to the states to decide whether that law is good for their state. So as an American people, start voting with your conscience. That is all I have on that.
We have to remember our fundamentals. That's what we're missing. Our civics aren't taught, so nobody knows. That's why we got the idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Trump up there playing politicians. They don't know the civics of the country. They don't know how this operation works. How the hierarchy is, what the policies are, what the decorum should be. There you get Jim Jones.
Yeah, well, hey,
he might as well be Jim Jones. He might as well. But they get up in there and they want to change things the way they want to do, but then they get mad at Barack Obama for wearing a tan suit. Come on, man. Be for real now. You get mad over the wrong things. And our people have no understanding of how civics works and how that process gets into play. Like you said, the president's only a figurehead. He's that person we beat up on. It's like the coach of a team. The team could do horrible, but the coach is going to get the blame because if the team didn't do what they were supposed to do, it was his leadership that should have made them win. So we always have to remember, he's only a figurehead. He's not the guy that makes the rules. He can veto it, but he's still not that guy that makes it. Congress could easily solve the immigration problem, but they won't even take the time. They're too busy trying to impeach Biden, look for Hillary's emails, do Benghazi again, all this nonsense. And until we get our kids to understand the civics, because remember, I hate to say I'm old, but we used to have to take a constitution test to get out of school. And that was necessary. Now, we just push them out the door. Get out.
Well, to your point, as a senior, you couldn't graduate unless you could pass your government class. Completely. That was required for you to do that, to understand how that, my thing is like, exactly. And civics. And then if you chose to go into political science, there was another escalated class that you could take within the ranks of all that while you're in high school. So you'd have a foundation as to what you needed to get prepared for. But my thing is like, and this is to challenge those that far rights and the far lefts and, whatever the case be, halfway in the middle, whatever you want to call yourself. Okay. At the end of the day, you got to realize is that if you don't understand the political system, okay, within yourself, you need to do the research. Okay. If you don't like this, and then you see what's going on right now in Israel, okay, it's because of our democracy that we don't have the issues that are going on right now in Israel. Okay,
it could happen over here.
It can, because I'm telling you, Christian folk just as bad. Because I'm gonna tell you, some of these Christian folks, they out here right now trying to kill you just by their mouth. Okay, they're the ones that always want to put you in hell, for wearing a short dress or going to the club or getting a drink or having marijuana. Okay, they want to do so. They may not be physically shooting you up and running all over town, but damn for sure they're killing you with your mouth. And you Christian people, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so it could be the exact same thing, just a little Christian history for those who are supposed to know everything. What about the Crusades, Christian folks? Y'all went all through Europe, okay, stabbing and killing, okay, and trying to force people over to a belief system that really didn't have war at that time. At the end of the day, you talk about the Apostle Paul, #1 killer of people. All right, but I won't get into the teaching tonight. I just want to throw that out there for y'all. Think about it. Y'all want to come against me, okay, but I know what I'm talking about. All right. So what you need to do is operate in the love and bring these people together. But that's another story. Let me shut up. Go ahead. Go ahead, D. You're laughing at me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I really think that in order for us to get to the place that we need to get to, we're gonna have to turn around and do like we did for this past term. We're gonna have to get out there, get all the people out there to this polls and get them to vote. The young ones are gonna be the ones that's gonna determine every aspect of everything because they're the ones that's for the future.
Right.
That's why we needed that young blood in the house to be able to turn around and to be able to, push the envelope a little bit more than when the other ones. Because think about it, if the ones who's been sitting in those chairs for years on top of years, they're not aware of the factor of what's going on with the people or how much gas prices is. But guess what? They have the financials for all of those things. they have financials to be able to make sure all of their needs are met, their kids' needs are met, all of those things. So their families aren't worried. It's the middle class people, which that's going to be now obsolete soon because it's only going to be rich or poor. So we it's just like we got to turn around and start educating ourselves as well as the young youth that's around us. Hey, get out there, start to watching the news.
Right. That's true.
Because they don't watch the news. You know, if it don't come on their phone, they don't see it on their phone going on their news feed. They don't know nothing about it.
Nothing.
If it ain't on Instagram, they don't know. You know, and so it's go ahead.
But I'm about to say that picture you just showed, Charles. We can always go back to that. We can always go back to that. People think, oh, that was in the past. Well, the past can always come back and redeem itself. And I'm so sorry for those who don't think, well, you know, this is America. We can never go back to the 50s and 60s. They're passing laws, and the Supreme Court is trying their best for us to go back to the way it was in those times. So if you think your vote don't count, well, make it. Listen, if you think your vote really don't count, sit out for a number of years and see how life can go back to when it really didn't matter at all.
Right.
And it took lynchings and it took bombings to keep you away from the voting polls. I hate to say it though, but for those people like this woman right here, from where's she from? Was it not from Georgia? From
Forsyth County.
Forsyth County. Oh shit. Forsyth. There you go. That's all I need to know.
That's enough right there to tell you.
That's all I need to say. That's right there.
From Forsyth County, Georgia. And y'all don't know about Forsyth County, go back and do on Oprah's page and type in Forsyth County. You'll see what happened from her show, you know, of that. And again,
Lake Lanier.
Lake
Lanier. Lake Lanier.
Let me say this real quick, just to be clear, okay? Because we're having this conversation, it is a conversation about support and uplifting and acknowledging where fault is. Okay, we're not attacking our white brothers and sisters. Because, hey, you know, y'all. Okay, so be clear. But at the same time, if you're not aware of what went on, this is the point for you to be educated in what did happen and the possibilities that are there. So with that being said, I want to say this to my Latino brothers and sisters as well. You saw that sign when it said colored. Okay,
you're part of it.
When and if that particular area of the white community, which would represent the Klan type of behaviors and all that type of stuff, you will be categorized right there on that sign that says colored entrance. So please do not make a hasty decision and voting for somebody, if you're one that vote for somebody that you think is for you. Donald Trump is not for you. Donald Trump is for Donald Trump, period. Okay, and that's it at the end of the day. Anybody that can get up in front of you and tell you that they're being indicted on for you, y'all should have just scattered completely, okay, and X'd everything out. That is a fool and a half to stand before a group of people.
Well, Sharon says she's moving away if he gets reelected.
You know, I don't blame her. A group of people is still before a group of people telling him, I'm going all this through this for you, like you, Jesus. Really? Man, you need to get the F out of here, period. Now, thank you, Chuck, for putting Hakeem up, okay? So, we'll chat about Hakeem. Very, very powerful young man in Congress and the Senate. Very powerful. They're at the point now, he is just a step away from being the next House leader. Okay, very step away. Because what he is saying, which is beautiful, is that certain Republicans are waking up to the fact. They're like, hey, this man is good. Okay, so don't be surprised if more Republicans start making that shift and waking the hell up. Okay, and come back center to where they should be in the first place. You know, so hey, I send all the energy to Hakeem, and I've said it before. I said, was it 22? Was it the next election? Not 24, 28. That's going to be our next president.
Just don't incubate your life from the politics that is protecting the situations that we know that is of a certain class of people. I don't like Americans who, when they say, well, I don't delve into politics. Politics has nothing to do with my life. I only work out in the gym and eat healthy and read my book and not worry about Washington. Well, I'm sorry to say, but you need to worry about Washington, because if you don't worry about Washington, all that book reading that they're throwing in the pile and the burning fire and all this stuff that they have over food shortage that I be hearing about. You hear so much about Bill Gates and Conswab and whatever his name is, food shortage in Washington. I think you need to start worrying about what's going on in your state. I'm just saying.
My favorite saying is, this is my favorite saying. When did that happen?
But you know, the places that really need to be word even more so, darling, is places where we're from.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
That's true.
There you go.
Because however, when you look at it at the earlier part of the year, when you can have places that is just as close to Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee as Jackson, Mississippi, trying to go and pass the Jim Crow law again.
Right. Absolutely. And it's so smart you said, because right in Georgia now, I mean, because of the situation with Trump and his legal matters in the state of Georgia, they are trying now to pass another law, Republicans, that they could strip
Fannie Willis
from her power so that they can get him off. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, really? Y'all wake the hell up. Please wake the hell up. All right. I know we got to go to a quick break. I know we were supposed to talk about a little bit about the trauma aspect. Well, hell, we've been talking about trauma right now already.
We're talking about trauma now.
But we'll touch on that. And I know Charles has a couple points to mention about what we were talking about when we come back from break. We'll let him take it over from there. We'll get into trauma. We'll close you out tonight. All right. We'll be right back after this break. All right, and we are back, guys. Thank you so much again for tuning into The Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Want to remind you about our mug contest, which is right at the bottom of your screen there. Simply just send us 10 like and shares to the TTBTT show Gmail. We'll assess them, and then, of course, if they're valid, then we will definitely send you a mug out as a supporting the show. We'd love to do that. And if you want to purchase your mug, of course, you can do so by sending an email as well to the TTB show at Gmail, and indicate that you want to order a mug. They're $15, and we would love to have your support on that aspect as well. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for your efforts of making us the #1 talk show that's out there. All right, because we're going to be able to do that. All right, we're going to let Charles go ahead with his point real quick.
Well, the one thing that's been on my mind the whole week is that we haven't, as a community, found our support center. You know, where we pull together. Every other ethnicity pulls together as a group and wrap around as a unit on a project. We are so busy doing what I call chicken wings. We don't want nobody else next to us. It's all mine. I got to be the boss. Until we can understand that we need to join as a community and unite as one to go into these. I don't even want to call them battles. I want to call them progressions. The step ups, the next step that we move up at, and make this a focus for us and our kids, because we need that example. They're only following the people they see. They're shaking their thing and doing this, whatever you call it out there with the with the hip hop people. But if we don't give them a better example, how do we expect them to follow us? We have to get out there and show them some of this effort, some of this energy.
Right. All right, I totally agree.
You know, we live out here in LA. We live in a industry that was based on a community of people who came out and saw the dream, built up on the dream, and built Hollywood. Right. Now, you know, we all knew that they had difference in opinions, difference in style, but you never saw the differences displayed the way it's being displayed within the situation within our community. I think as a community, we need to understand that we are all in this together. We need to also realize that when you see somebody else succeed, let's try not to knock them down. Let's try to be authentic in what they are doing. I think, honestly, we are so highly invested in bringing people down. We're talking about Will and Jada in the show. Will and Jada being a highly successful couple, producer, actor, actress in this game, whatever industry they've been in, they're showing us, even though we don't agree with it, we disagree with the way they live their life, but we shouldn't always put on display our disagreement and say, no, Jada said something, I don't agree with it, but I understand from a woman's standpoint, this is what it's all about. And I feel like as a community, we need to sometimes sit back, listen, and be not too quick to respond to foolishness and stop accommodating foolishness. That's what I want to say. We need to stop accommodating foolishness.
I totally agree. I mean, real quick point for me, Darnell, before we wrap right here.
My only thing I just say, I just wish that our community could stop being the judge, the jury, and the prosecutor.
Okay,
that's it.
Exactly.
That's all.
I completely agree. Charles, you want to drop a quick nugget real quick before we go?
One thing I do want to mention is that we're going to be showing the show through the week. We're going to rebroadcast at least 4 to 5 times through the week at different time periods. So keep an eye out for the show. We want to make sure that everybody gets an opportunity to check it out and see it in their own at their own leisure. But we want you to check it out. We need these folks to like, share, spread the word, talk about the show, and contribute. If you see some things on here you don't like, or that you even have some feedback on, comment on the show. Give us some feedback so we can address your questions and your perceptions that you have, and maybe somewhere along the line we can teach each other something because we all learn.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Charles.
And being authentic in it.
Right, exactly.
Truth behind the truth.
Truth behind the truth. So, guys, I mean, tonight, I think this has been a wonderful night once again, and I was sitting here trying to think about if I owed an apology for getting emotional, a few minutes ago. And
you didn't at all.
Not, because that shows transparency. That shows that an opportunity to be open to receive something that's great that's coming at me. Now, if you don't receive it as great, then maybe you need to check where you are in terms of your thought patterns. And if you're not in a place of accepting the greatness, because greatness comes at you in all kinds of forms, but you have to be willing and open for that greatness to be able to attach itself to you. Okay. If you allow yourself truth behind the truth, if you allow yourself to be clouded by trauma, which we really didn't dig into enough, you won't be able to receive your greatness. Okay. You'll deflect it. You'll block it. And you won't be able to be in the place where it is so beneficial for your life. This is what the Truth Behind Truth is about. This is what our mission is, to help you become authentic, as you said, to let yourself be enough. And then like Parnell always says, to tell people to get the hell out of your business. Okay. Basically, at the end of the day, when you get to that place and in life, then you can move into different conversations to help the rest of humanity. That's what we're all here to do. I'm gonna shut them out because I keep going.
I cried at my divorce, but it helped me be a better man. I was in tears, but it helped me be a better man. Hey,
there you go. So the emotional attachment to whatever you're feeling in that moment is such a beautiful experience. And understand that it is there to help you get better, to carry you to another level. All right. Anyway, love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Hey, we'll be right back. We're going to pick up on the trauma next week. Thank you for being here. And we're going to talk about hip hop next week, y'all. The degradation that it has done to the Black community and Black women. All right. And women of color. Not all women. All women have. Don't get me wrong. But I want to tell you about that. All right. Have a beautiful night. We'll see you again next week on The Truth Behind the Truth. Good night, y'all.
Good night, guys.